Yeah, limited theaters, it seems, with only one showing. So it seems like there was like this neutral conversation going on here. Maybe they were probably discussing what was being played in the theaters, but then look at the response from the upline, the former upline, because this person now that's having this conversation has left multi-level marketing. So this person says, so you've turned anti-MLM? What's funny to me is all the pushback from Julie Anderson and her cult followers saying these peptides don't work. Wonder how that is. Ray's lost 48 pounds. Wow. Can you imagine being in a multi-level marketing company? This person's in Make Wellness and sending this message out, thinking that this was a good idea to type this out and hit send to somebody who has left multi-level marketing. When I look at this message, it gives me a lot of information about what's going on with Make Wellness, about what's going on in various uplines' minds, how effective the anti-MLM movement is. It's really, like an arrow to the heart of Make Wellness. It's indicating to me that not only do they know the name of people exposing multi-level marketing companies, these frauds, but they're speaking about other anti-MLM content creators too. And that they don't know how to regain control. They feel like they've been personally attacked. And the only way they can kind of like regain some kind of control is to try to exert it on people who have left multi-level marketing altogether. So it's baffling to me, like in this climate where there's growing consumer awareness, that you have somebody who has left a multi-level marketing company. You have somebody who's in Make Wellness spending time following what former members have done or are liking on social media and then like turning it into this accusation. There's this real like arrogance and entitlement when you're in a multi-level marketing company. This is this kind of control that people, they're just used to folding and used to being like, well, how can I make it better to you? Outside of this, it's just so off-putting. It's just, this isn't how you run a business. This is just, it's like a temper tantrum. It's just really childish, I don't care what people say about, oh, you're in a cult, or I experienced that when I was leaving my own cult. It's common. People say, we're not a cult, you're a cult. That's par for the course. But what I do take issue with is this claim that I have said that peptides don't work. So I've never said the peptides don't work. That's just wrong. That's just an outright lie. And I know that this person knows this. So what this person is really upset is that somebody in their downline has left multi-level marketing and is doing something that they don't approve of. They haven't yet realized that it's none of their business, that they're not owed anything. They don't have the right to control what somebody is doing on social media. They don't have the right to be pissy pants in these messages and just expect that this person is going to what? Offer some kind of excuse for living their life the way they want to and making choices that you might disagree with. Well, too bad. Too bad, so sad. But instead of owning that and like trying to work through those conflicting feelings because they're in a cult, I want to see this person get out too, They have to say, well, it's all my fault. It's all my fault because so somebody in her downline is liking a piece of my content and it's all my fault because I've said peptides don't work, but some guy named Ray has lost 48 pounds. Well, that makes no sense at all. So first off, I've never said peptides don't work. You're wrong about that. And you need to own that. But you won't because you're in a cult. You're the problem here. Okay, so I'm going to read out to you the caption that I wrote that I've posted on Instagram and Facebook, also in my stories, and also now here on YouTube. Cracks are beginning to show in a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, MLM, that's selling peptides. This is a screenshot of a DM someone sent to me. They are being watched. Any comment they leave on anti-MLM content is being noted. It's common enough behavior in MLM, but startling to those outside an MLM. Behavior control in an MLM looks like this. I'm not in a cult, you're in a cult, is a typical response for MLM participants. Just as they believe pyramid schemes don't exist because they're illegal, they define cult as being anyone who disagrees with them. In this particular conversation, the MLM participant is outright lying. I haven't said peptides don't work. I have said repeatedly over the years that MLM products can be excellent and indeed have benefits, albeit overpriced by necessity. Anyone who has watched any of my content knows this. Because some guy named Ray lost 48 pounds is irrelevant. Just as growing your hair 2 inches using Monat shampoo is irrelevant, the products are irrelevant. You're still in an MLM pyramid scheme because it has these 4 characteristics: pay to play, recruiting mandate, endless chain recruiting, and extreme money transfer from the bottom to the top. And if you think that spying on people who have been in your downline is normal behavior, this is your wake-up call. You look like an ass. And of course, I paired it with good music. That's what I do on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, I understand it can be, too much. You just like to stay on YouTube. But I get up. A lot of advocacy I do is on Instagram, and that's with a connection point for people who are exiting MLMs in various stages of exiting, where I'm helping them just talk with them, or they've exited and they just need somebody to talk to. A lot of that goes on there. And a lot of it, I make a lot of stories on Instagram. So I'll put my content, the same content I make on Instagram, I'll post to stories. So then people who are being watched by their upline can avoid that fear of being found out and then harassed in the DMs by the unhinged behavior of a former upline like this example. So then they can just communicate with me directly, or, another anti-MLM content creator. So that's why, like a lot of my content, I'll just repost to my stories right away, and then I'll add a whole bunch more. And when I get information like this, I know that Make Wellness is going through some kind of upheaval. If people in that company are openly talking, they've said my name anyway. I mean, you don't want to say my name. I put this in one of my stories. The last time a multi-level marketing company said my name, it was Transact Card and Finmore. And what happened with them? It's the final thing. It's not me. It's like the whole thing. It's a whole scam, but it's like, that's just something you don't want to invite into your MLM. It's too late. And I think you've rung the death knell, the bell tolls. Anyway, I wanted to make a piece of content about Make Wellness because, to me, I follow this rule of thumb: where there's smoke, there's fire. And I've never been wrong when there's been something like this kind of outrageous response. Somebody that is still in a multi-level marketing company, so obviously trying to control someone who's left, trying to control what they think, how they behave, the information they take in, how they feel, behavior, information, thought, emotional control. Even though they've left, it's this disconnect from reality. You still have to do what I tell you. I'm entitled to speak to you like shit because you were in my multi-level marketing company. Nobody owes you anything. And that will sink in time. Anyway, I'm going to be unleashing a lot more Make Wellness content solely because of this. I've already started compiling a number of deceptive income and medical claims, which I've made already one report to the FTC. I'm taking my time, and I put a call out on Instagram too. And I've also, if you have the original link to a piece of content that a Make Wellness participant has made a misleading income or health claim, to send it to me. I want to have I don't want to just have a screenshot. I prefer to have the original account, the person who made the original post. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'll be reporting to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, also Competition Bureau Canada. And then I'm going to be making a separate piece of content, going through my Google document, showing every single post. So unfortunately, this has come to this because these unhinged people in Make Wellness have invited me to take a closer look to their company and just to expose the fraud that is continuing. I'm also going to be making more content on all the videos that's in board. So their compensation plan, their recruiting, they're trying to target medical professionals. It's just a nightmare, but this is what they wanted. So that's what they're going to get. And one final thing with this before I close this video, I did create something very special just for this month of August. And I think you're really going to like this. So if you're watching this and you're from Make Wellness, this is just for you. Congratulations. You get the first inaugural Idiot of the Month award. Now you can see on either side, there's Kool-Aid because you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Some of you are very excited about drinking the spirulina, the blue energized product, because it has cancer preventative properties to it. Are you surprised that I know that? I almost can say it faster and more convincingly than you can. And I'm just exposing what your company is about. Maybe you should bone up on that. Maybe instead of harassing people who have left your multi-level marketing company in your downline, instead of going after them, maybe you could just leave them alone and maybe try being more effective at your own marketing. Maybe bone up on your product information. Maybe try doing a live video exploring the benefits of how these peptides have made you such a better person in your life. This shit you could get away with in the past when there were people that were intimidated and coerced into silence. No more. People that are trying to go after victims of these scams are no longer left alone to stand up and to speak out. I'm one of them that are going to amplify their voices. So back to the special award just for you, the Idiot of the Month award. This award certifies that Make Wellness participant is a certified idiot and is therefore honored with this certificate of idiocy for the month of August 2025. Now, I've already posted this on my Instagram account. So if you did want to, print this off and maybe even just scratch out Make Wellness participant and put in the name of yourself if you're in Make Wellness, just so you can hold that up and be like, yeah, maybe this should check my behavior so I don't behave like such a fucking asshole. This is why multi-level marketing is dying. One of the many reasons. You're the problem. With that, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.